Hello everyone. Today we are going to solve this problem. Write a Java program that accepts two integers from the user and prints the sum, the difference, the product, the average, the distance, or the difference between the integers. The maximum and the largest is the two integers, and the minimum and the smallest of the two integers. So how are we going to assign this sum? So first is we're going to apply a utility. So first open this import utility. Import java dot util dot corner. So you are going to use this utility. So you know that you can another from a user. So user can see this, and then you will use objects to another. So you will use the this corner value. So you will put this as corner, and then you will use the object is and then equal the new and then corner and then system dot in and then semicolon. So we are going to point the sum and use this we will use this arithmetic operation. So you will first you will declare another variable. So you will use integers or the int data type, and then the variable is the norm1, and then you will declare that, and also for the num2. So I will going to use this object. So you will assign it by using this variable. So you will this variable you connect it to the num1. Okay, so if someone is use this, so you can sorry I will explain to you later. So you will type the system the user prompt to enter the first integer, and then here you are going to use this num1 into scatter. So you will type this num1 equals s. So you will see this as object here. You will see this here object, and then use this dot and then next field. So you can the user can use this prompt, and then he can use to enter the first integer, and then the first value of that integer we're going to store in this variable. So as like same for the num2, you will going to copy it, and then you will paste it, but you can just change it into num2. So we have here another, you can store the value of the num1 here to the variable, and then also for the num2. So if you will trying to run this, so you can, as you can see, so here you can type now the first integer, but you can also change this for the second integer. So we will rerun it, and then you can type your value. Example, you will type it 24, and then another is the 12. So you can now use this scanner. So you can use the scanner. So we'll move on and going to how to find this ROM. So another is going to assign another volume name son. So if you want to type this in this ROM. So what was the value of the ROM? So the ROM value is the addition of the num1 and the num2. So we'll use this num1, and we will use another the operation or the operator. So the operator will use this addition or plus sign. So num1 and num2. So the value today of the sum is the num1 and num2. So if you wanna try to solve try to execute it, you will use the system out, and then you can copy this ROM and then put the value using concatenation and then put the variable of the ROM. So if you will try to run it and then you will type the first integer, example you have 10 and then the second of 30, so the sum to now is 40. So next is we will going to find the difference of the value. So same as the sum, you can use the difference variable. So in and the difference and equal. So what we are going to find if you want to find the difference, so you will use another operation and you will use the example num1 and then you will use the minus or dash. So num1 minus num2. So we can need you going to find the value of the difference of num1 and the num2 and then you will use this another in system outlet. So you will type it the difference and then use another the concatenation and then find it click the difference. As you can see here the difference. So if you want to try to run it and put the value of the first integer into 20 and another is 11, so the difference today is 9. So as you can see 20 minus 11 is equal to 9 and in the sum of 20 and 11 is 31. So we are done with the difference. So let's go for the product. So same for the sum and the difference, you will also another declare another variable in the end on both is the product and then product is equal to num1. So what operation we will going to do, so we will use another, so we will type is asterisk. So asterisk is used for the operation of product. So num1 and asterisk num2. So we can find now the value of the num2 times num1 and then we will execute it the product and then use the concatenation and use the variable product. And if we will try to run it and type the first integer, example is 10 and then the second integer is 45. So we can now see the value of the product now is the 40 and we will done with the product. So we will go for the average. So how we're going to do to find the average? To find the average is used, we will go use this the, the sum of num1 and num2 and then divide it by 2. So why did 2? Because if we have here 2 in 2 variables num1 and num2, so we will divide the sum with the 2. So we will use another data type. So what data type we will use? So we will use double. So why we using double? Because if we want to divide another number, so the solution will be not generally good, but you can see some of the value will be going to decimal. So we will use double data type and then name the variable. So we are using double here. So in we will type the variable of average and then the value of average is the sum and the sum and the divided it by 2.0 because the data type we will using is double and then we will type 2 because there are the two variable here, the num1 and num2. So if we try to use them out and then the average and concatenate with the average variable, and if we try to round it, the value of the integer and the second integer will be 19. So if we try to use the odd number, example 15 and then the second one is 4, so we will get a 9.5. And when done with the average we will go for the distance. So the distance difference between the integers. So this distance says that difference. So they are the same because we will get the difference between the integers. So which means that difference and the distance will have the same value. So if we try to create another variable distance, so we will use distance as a variable and the value of the distance will same of the difference. So we can just call the difference here. So they have the same value now. And then we will try to pick them up, and then the distance here is now the new value of the difference. So if we try to see the value of the distance in the difference, so they have the same output. If we try to run it, so if you have the first is just a 14 and the second is the 13, so they have the same difference 1. And we're done now with the distance. We can go back, we can go to maximum and the minimum. So how will you get the maximum and minimum? So if you want to get the maximum and minimum, create another variable which is maximum and the other one is the minimum. So there are two ways that you can get the maximum and minimum. You can use the Java method, but if you don't know the Java method, and but you can also use the fls. But today we will just I will teach you how to use the fls and to get the maximum and the minimum. So inside the parenthesis here you can just create a condition of the num1, and then if the num1 is greater than num2, so the code here will be implemented and executed if the condition here will be true. So the value now of the maximum is now the num1. So why the num1 is the bus is the value of num the maximum? It's because as we can see in the condition num1 is greater than num2. So maximum means it is the largest number. So num1 is larger than num2. So maximum will be num1 and the minimum number is num2. And use the system mode so that you can see the output for the maximum is also the maximum variable. Same for the minimum, so you can also use the minimum. So if you want to try it, you can get the maximum and the minimum. So if you want to type example, the greater number is 15, the second one is 3. So we can see here the maximum is 15 and 3. So how will you do if you type the num1 as the minimum and the num2 is the maximum? So your code will be not not um not working, but it can go wrong, but you have the wrong output. So if you want to have a um the good value, so you can use also else. So if you have if you have num1 is less than by num2, so the condition here will be false, and then go back and we will go there to the else, and then so the value will be um, compared and different with the value of the first condition. So we'll copy this, and then the value now of the maximum is num2, then the value of the minimum is num1. So we will try it. So the percentage example is the lower is the minimum, so we'll type it 2, and then the second is 14. So we can get the maximum 14 and the minimum of 2, and then that's how you can get the maximum and minimum using the if else statement. And now we have here, the sum of 16, because of 2 and 14, and then the difference of negative 2 are because greater 2 is less than the 14, and then same with the distance and the average, and then the distance and the maximum and minimum. And that's all. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and then click the notification bell and code bye.